There we go. Make sure we are live, which we should be. We wait. We refresh, and there we go. Well, it's a Friday, you know what that means. It's time for Tier 2 in FPRL. Welcome to round 12 of our Tier 2 Season 6 Championship in a title fight with 44 points covering 8 drivers. Every point now is getting towards that critical stage. I'm Cruiser 1872, and in the commentary box this evening is the returning voice of the Flow.
Yeah, I'm back. We're back again from Tier 1 last time around with David. Now I'm back at my usual spot at Friday night. Welcome, everyone.
The Flow's back. Tell a friend. Anyway, and for this week, we're continuing our adventures around the Zandvoort circuit in the Netherlands. And what is usually a tradition for Tier 2 seems to have been broken because Diamond Duche is not racing tonight, so he is not going to be the first driver out on track for our qualifying session. Oh my, so good things come to an end, don't they? Diamond, you ruined the streak. People don't know now it's Tier 2. Anyway, it's to be Jaffmaster to lead them away in the Haas, and immediately looking at the Twitch chat, here, get us out of the way. Early, of course, all of our races are streamed on twitch.tv/FP Racing League. Silverside Boy subscribing at Tier 1 for 15 months and on a 10-month streak. Thank you for that, Silverside Boy, and racing tonight actually. So I should say, get off your phone while you are driving, but at least you're in the pits. So any collisions that do happen shall not be their fault. Anyway, Jaffmaster up towards Tarzan Corner, turn 1, and that's about all I know in terms of corner names because I am not going to try and pronounce them for this Zandvoort track. Now around turn 4, or turn 3 actually, almost somewhat of a carousel. Now towards turn 4, 5 and turn 6. The corners around this track just get through in your face. As, oh yeah, there's a yellow flag. And you're right, a toe is in the wall. I believe he was in the Alfa Romeo last time out in their debut for Spa, switching to Aston Martin tonight. So far, not providing better luck. Maybe he got Lance Stroll's car, who knows. Anyway, Jaffmaster now towards the middle sector and the stadium section of the track. A 48.0 so far. Relatively strong pace here from the Haas driver. One of the 8 drivers in contention for this championship, and if I'm correct, any one of 5 drivers who win tonight can take the championship lead, as we'll follow Jaffmaster around the banking of the final corner, and he's going to put himself on a 109.2. Relatively good pace from the Haas. Yep, on a 109.1. Marginal improvements, but still improvements. Shadows goes third. Who else is on the lap? They're going to be laps in this session are going to be thick and fast. Collateral adds another driver in that title fight, and there he is. Nigel Peddle has said, "You're on the 109s. That's cute. I'm going to do a 108.7." Yeah, Nigel is on somewhat of a rocket ship trajectory in this campaign. He missed the opening. Out of the opening 5 races, Nigel only raced in Bahrain, which was our first round. Since he's came back, he has been on another level compared to some of these drivers. He really has been. As Dynamo Dan. You might notice the name change, but regardless, it is still one and the same. And there's Robin on the scene. Nigel might actually not have this all his own way. Yeah, we'll see what other tracks are like, because our championship leader, General Jake, heading down towards the treacherous turn 8 curb. If you get on that curb, you are going one way, and it's straight. You are not turning if you get on that curb. And I'm looking at a Twitch chat. Reese has called Nigel a fraud. Reese was originally in Tier 2, but after taking 3 victories in a row, got promoted to Tier 1, and he has the audacity to call Nigel a fraud as Jay goes up into 9th place on a 109.4. Toll on their second attempt, a 109.6. Cruz the Dodo has decided again 8 PM is his playtime, and there's General Jake, the third driver, into the 108s, but still 3/10 down on Robin. Oh, uh, I've technical difficulties. Party audio is on. Have you ticked it? No, I don't hear you either. That's interesting. Try and unplug your microphone and we'll do it like that, or I can, you know what I'm gonna do? I am going to, pardon the, we should get an intermission screen for this moment. Alright, we'll try that. We'll see if that's fixed it.
No? I mean, I can hear myself speaking in the party, so does not seem to be my headphone. But it does seem like you can't hear me, no?
Oh, I can hear you. Oh,
Oh,
there we
you
go.
can.
Yeah, I just had
Ah,
to
yeah, I just restarted my headphone, so maybe it was that.
there we go. Well, it's fixed now. There we go. Yeah.
I'm glad everyone can hear my beautiful voice.
There we go. You're back. And LF1, formerly L of Gamer, and last season's Tier 3 champion, finding life a little bit more difficult, I think, in Tier 2, but still soldiers on as no sooner have you fixed your headphones, Flo, you have promptly left the session. It's going to be one of those nights. Jake had this for Tier 3, and now it's going to be the Flo's turn for Tier 2, who I think has actually completely disconnected. Oh dear, this is not gonna be fun. Freddy's backed off of their lap. Who else is on a lap? Python up in 9th, Raz is in 7th, and a few early second push laps. Recently, we did change our qualifying sessions to be the single 18-minute session, the equivalent of Q1, just so we can get into the main races faster. And I suppose with the inclusion of a sprint race, which there might be one next week, who knows, potentially around Monza. Yeah, it just means we get to the main races quicker, but then again, we always ran a short qualifying for a sprint. Reese has asked, where's the McLaren back marker? I think he's taking a well-deserved night off, and wouldn't hit the ground running this time next week. You know, I think as drivers are going to set their laps, Raz is up in 3rd now with that improvement to 108.7. Should actually go through championship standings. Jake leading the way by 17 points to Raza Gamer, so that's important for their fight in the championship. Cruz the Doddles going for it again as, oh, C. Davies is spun. He's got on the curb at turn 9. And, oh, there goes his rear wing. That's not what he needs, as improvements ahead. Phenom up to 5th. He needs that, I think, for his pursuit. And on the subject of Mercedes, Nigel 2 points behind Razagamer in 3rd after that victory in Spa, as he actually goes around the final corner in their next push lap. We jump on board with the Mercedes of they got us a 108.6, and now the pendulum's back in their favour for pole. Shadows in 4th on 91 points, Jaffmaster, Diamond, Robin, and Collateral Ads, the winner of the first race in the tier in Bahrain, out in 8th place, but still only 44 points, as mentioned, behind Jake, so any one of 8 drivers winning tonight is going to be huge. As I'm going to try and invite the flow back to the game and to our Xbox party. Superior console. Collateral Ad's actually now up in 4th as there was C. Davies on their second push lap. They're now trying to improve from 8th. Jaffmaster 10th and a half up. Actually getting the first lap in this session. And yeah, our follow Jaffmaster, I think, as we're going to try and get everything sorted for the flow. Hopefully get them back in before tonight's race, as we're just going to go on board again with Jaffmaster. And I'm sorry I'm getting a little bit sidetracked. We're trying to get our co-comms partner back before the race. This whole week's been full of stream issues. Jaded disconnecting the Tier 3 race, and actually then again, Tier 4, we only saw the final like half a lap of the race, as it was Jaffmaster 1087. Let's now put him in the mix. Try one more time to get the flow in. If that doesn't work, then I might need to be on the invite duties as well. Shadows, see what they can do. The driver sitting 4th in the championship, and I actually don't think they have a victory to their name. I could be wrong, most likely I am, for the Aston Martin driver. Shows good consistency throughout the season to be where he is, and then in 15th place. This is something we have seen from the Aston Martin driver. Sometimes his qualifying performances leave him a little bit too much to do in the race. He's half a second currently, so this will put him towards Jake and maybe Collateral Ad if he finds a bit more time in this final sector. And hopefully the flow has joined back. Hopefully the microphone issues have been solved. And there he goes, Shadows
Yes,
right behind the
like
general in 7th. Go then.
It seems like I'm back, I hope so at least.
Yeah, as long as you're here. There's Toll into the pits. Python up by a minimal amount, 0.03 of a second, and now he's down on his time. Python's lost ground in that middle sector. Silverside Boy, a driver who has not had good qualifying form as of late, is back in the pits now, 16th. And especially, I'd say, Flo, around the track like Zandvoort, it's such a difficult track to overtake. There's only really one overtaking spot, and that's into the first corner. And Nigel saying that Shadows won back out. I've checked back, and actually, I've not tell a lie. I haven't checked back that far. I did say I'm most likely wrong. And yep, Shadows did win Baku. This is your tier 2 commentator, by the way. I don't even know recent race results unless it's for my own team. Romerks.
Yes, we got a pole time prediction by Reese. We got a 1.8587. Let's see how close he's gonna be with that one.
Yeah, Reese has a habit of these poll predictions, and I think yeah, we'll throw it out to the Twitch chat. Who do you think's going to get pole position? Let us know in the chat, and a good evening to obviously to Nigel, Reese, Darth Ray Fox tuning in, Monkey Boy Kurt, and Silverside Boy as well, subscribing earlier with well, I would say with Twitch Prime. But regardless, a subscription is a subscription. And he's promptly said, "I'm finished." There's still plenty of time to go. Plenty of time, as there's
Maybe he's
Nigel
trying to
jumping.
save a set of compound tires. Who knows?
Yeah, it's not the question. And I see Nigel rather impatiently jumping in front of one of the Williams drivers, might have been Freddie. But currently net pole. Fox is saying that Jake's going to get pole. Rosier, of course, cheering on Jake as well. So Jake getting quite a few supporters, I think. And our championship leader, I think, needs all the motivation he can get. Down in 7th currently, and a little bit of work to do for tonight, as it will stand. There goes Raza Gamer leaving the pits. And as mentioned earlier, Zandvoort, a very short track. So we could see one time get pole and then instantly, like, 2 drivers, maybe even 3 drivers, post a lap time that's faster. So we'd have to be on our toes a little bit here. And so does C. Davies down to turn 1 for what could be the final time in this qualifying session. 3 minutes left to go. He could have one more lap if he charges that battery again after this. But now through towards turn 3, around the carousel. Quite nicely done there, a bit wide though, if I can judge from the marbles on the tyres. Towards turn 6 and turn 7 he's up by 1/10 of a second. And again, another track like Zandvoort, such a flowing track, almost like Silverstone in a way. You've got to keep your speed up where it counts around these corners. Now through turn 8 and then towards turn 9, towards the stadium of turn 10. I've got a little bit too tight though on the curb, that's forced him wide, and that is going to be in a... yeah, he's abandoned that lap. Got too greedy there at turn 9, and that is not what he needs for his race.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to charge up his battery again to the start of his next lap. He's maybe going to do one cooldown if there's enough time. Yeah, it looks like he's going to go for a cooldown lap and going to go again. Yeah, it's really about carrying the minimum speed around those high down those corners.
You saw as well scrolling through the drivers. Silverside Boy invalidated their run, but we're on board now with Robin, who's going to be getting a little bit of a slipstream there from the Aston Martin. I think that was from Shadows, giving him an impromptu helping hand to the AlphaTauri driver. Now the final few corners, Nigel
got spun. He tried to go again, but he's...
Oh no, Davies. He's going to have one more run though, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. But Nigel improved to 1:08.5. Robin lost time. So Nigel is now in the driver's seat for pole position. Jaffmaster and their run, phenom as well for the Mercedes team. This has been a very strong effort so far for them. First and fourth for qualifying. Jake on their run up by 2/10, needs to find at least another couple in this final sector if he wants to get on the front row. As there goes, I think that was Jay, up to 10th place now in the top 10 for the Alfa Romeo driver. Jake looking to get in towards the top 5, beat Raza Gamer up to the line for Jake, and I don't think he improved. He didn't improve by 1,000th of a second. As there's Freddy up to 3rd.
Oh well, nice lap from him. But our pole prediction from Reese already got beaten. We already got a 1:08.506. Not bad.
Python improving up to 11th as Jay's lost his front wing, but he's got his lap on the board. Still not what he needs though. C. Davies, they are very low on fuel. He should...
yeah, I think he's decided to...
Yeah, Davies is done. Toe to the line and goes 9th ahead of Jake. Jake might have a bit of work cut out for him in this race. Where's the lateral lads? Lateral lads up by 1/10.5, a bit squirrely though at turn 12. Now the final few corners, turn 13 and then turn 14. He's going to be getting a very nice slipstream there from his teammate C. Davies up to the line. This could put the lateral lads in contention for a front row.
And it does, really. Yeah.
2,000ths of a second ahead of Robin. And C. Davies very much playing a supporting role there to the lateral lads.
Yeah, very much played the team game. He thought, my lap is done, why not help out my teammate?
See if there's any other improvements. Python's not going to improve and Jay is in the pits. So that does it for qualifying. Nigel, another one to the collection for Season 6. And he takes pole for tonight's Dutch Grand Prix. Had his work cut out, did Nigel, but collateral lads up in the front row. A bit of a surprise actually, but as I mentioned, C. Davies playing a supporting role to his teammate. Robin looks set for the front row, but now 3rd for the race. Freddie Ford, a standout performance there, up in 4th for the Williams. Jaffmaster in 5th, Shadows, Phenom, both Mercedes in the top 10, that's a good effort from them. Raza, both Williams in the top 10 as well. Then we got driver, Someone I've not mentioned, we've not mentioned actually, throughout this whole session, up in ninth, and Toe in the top 10. And there is the rest of the field. Further down, we've got Dynamo Dan, Jake, Python, J, L, C Davies, Night Owl, and Silverside Boy at the back of the pack for tonight's Tier 2 Dutch Grand Prix.
Yeah, obviously the slipstream that one of the McLaren drivers got was very helpful because where you wanna. Oh, I in a someone there.
I see Williams prepared the front wing or two ahead of this race.
Not sure why am I sitting in a car. Component probably just. Did someone get disconnected? I didn't see it.
I don't think they did. I
I'm
have
gonna
asked them.
just leave so if someone's come back so they can get into
I
their
have
car and I'm not
asked.
sitting in there. Was sitting in a Ferrari, interestingly.
Wait, are you on the grid?
Yeah, I jumped out of the session just to not block someone else to get into their car because it said um, like spectator mode when I joined, but
Uh,
seems
it's
like someone has.
so it's because right, so because you joined and didn't hit spectator mode, you're now on the grid. So I think that's what's happened here. Because I've just checked in with the tier 2 drivers, and doesn't seem like you disconnected. Actually, it could have just been you that's just disconnected. No one else has from the lobby, so we should be okay to go. Doesn't mean you're ready up though. You wait for a lobby host. Um,
A restart because of that? Was it my mistake? I have no idea.
no, no, I don't think it is.
I just don't want
But nah,
my
I
eye
don't.
going
Nah.
around.
Nah, this one is. This isn't your fault. Rita said a race prediction time of 1 hour 45 minutes. No, we are not racing for an hour and 45 minutes. We saved that for Singapore. Uh,
Will my AI be going around the track then? Just don't
if
want
you're
that being in the way of people.
um, yeah, Risa said you need to press Y when you go to spectate. You just assumed. Yeah, that's what it was. It's not your fault. Reese is now justified and said he didn't mean to add on the extra hour. So 45 minutes. That seems a bit more reasonable, Reese.
It's still like quite high though, no? I feel like it's gonna
Uh,
be a
eh,
little bit shorter, but let's see.
no, Austria was around 43 minutes, so
Oh, okay.
Zandvoort's give or take a few seconds. Um, so
And it
a
might be
few
quite
seconds
realistic.
slower. We'll see what happens. But I'm expecting another chaotic race for Tier 2. Only they can do it on a Friday night, and this is why you'll tune into FPRL on your Friday nights. And a big thank you to everyone for tuning in and for watching throughout the whole season. Actually, it's been full of many decent races, some fantastic rivalries starting to brew as well, and overtakes aplenty, which we saw from Tier 3 and Tier 1. Some of Xbox's finest, I'm sure, taking to the track and showing how it's done. And I should mention as well, oh, there you go, you're back. Nice. Should mention as well, if you do watch these races on our Twitch channel, as mentioned, twitch.tv/FP Racing League, Nightbot will be dropping a link to our main Discord server. Hit the link and you will join our recruitment, complete the sign up steps, and we will get you enrolled to, well, I'd argue, as one of the best upcoming leagues in F1 league racing. And also, recently we started a Formula 2 server, which will be our Saturday Night Showdown events, or F2RL, which will be happening tomorrow, actually, on a Saturday, as somehow you've been disqualified. You know what? Reasonable. So it should be you.
I'm happy with
Should be
that
you
too.
okay, Flo. It should be you okay, as long as nothing else brews up for the race. Anyway, like I was saying, F2RL, Nightbot will drop a separate link to our F2 server, or you can put exclamation mark F2 in the Twitch chat. That will send you over to that Discord server, and it's FPRL on a Saturday night. That's all I really have to say about it.
F2 is
But
Saturday night. I was just confused. I was like, this is Friday
yeah,
night.
yep, a step down from Formula One, but about as equal as you can get in terms of close quarters racing. Anyway, our formation lap starting in Nigel treating this as the opening lap of the race, pulling away from collateral ads, and we do see a bit more of a split than I was expecting in tyres, and I think we'll run through them quite quickly if we can. As mentioned from qualifying, Silverside Boy in that Red Bull at the back on a set of mediums, the next to Night Owl and C Davies on a set of hards. Then we got the somewhat yellow wall, and I'm not talking about Borussia Dortmund. We got LF1 J Python up in 13th, Jake down in 12th. A lot of work for him to do in the race from there to preserve his championship lead. Dynamo Dan in 11th. We got Toe and Drive on Driver, all of them from 9th down to P15 on a set of mediums. Raza Gamer in 8th, knowing he's got Jake behind him, but Nigel on pole. Be mixed feelings for the Williams driver from qualifying. Phenom in 7th place, both of those two on a set of hards. Row 3, Shadows in 6th place on a set of mediums and into the top 5, Jaffmaster on a set of hards. Freddie, the second of the Williams, on a set of mediums, and the top 3 on a set of hards. Robin, collateral ads, and for the 4th time I think in 5 races, Nigel Piddle on pole position on a set of hards. Catch your breath, and I think hold your breath for turn 1. It's going to be a bit of a squeeze. Be a bit of a squeeze through Tarzan Corner. We got the 5 lights along the Zandvoort circuit. Lights out, and the race is underway, and the race is on. Nigel, collateral ads, and Robin. Decent start from all 3 of them, preserving the positions, but there's Freddie down the inside of Jaffmaster, trying to hold his place against the Haas driver. But Jaff is going to hold it round the outside at turn 1 and filters ahead of the Williams, but Nigel got the start he wanted and the start he needed. He is already clear of collateral ads, and now we can think about long term as there's been a collision further back. Jake's been caught up. Oh my goodness me, there's been a car park.
Oh yeah.
Jay's been caught, Night Owl, Phenom and Raza Gamer have all been collected in that drive on driver, and somehow your car, which was disqualified,
that's why I was thinking about jumping into the car and just going into the pits and retiring actually.
I think it might be worth going into the car.
As I got a
as somehow your AI got a 5-second penalty. You know what? I think we should add that to your time for Sunday.
Seems fair.
Yes. Well, suppose it is Ferrari, so.
Yeah, I need to leave and come back as not.
Oh, it's not letting you take control.
Yeah, not like now. I went into the spectator mode, as was suggested.
You've been requested from Silverside Boy to get your car off of him, because you're almost pushing him around this virtual safety car. As there we go, we're back underway for lap 2, and there's a car diving in the pits. It's C Davies. He must have got caught up in that collision, but there's Jacob down the inside of Dynamo Dan in towards turn 1. Gonna hold it though as Dan around the outside for turn 2, but Jake ahead up to 9th place. Next up for him is Python. Meanwhile, Freddie's made a mistake somewhere. Might have gotten the curb, and we can assure you, Freddie is not 1 minute and 20 seconds ahead of Nigel Piddle, and Python is not 1 minute and 24 behind the Williams. Nope. Then again, it actually balances out quite nicely, to be fair. But no, Freddie is now 7th, Python 8th. And the top 4 in their own little battle right now, Nigel, collateral ads, Robin and Jaffmaster. Shadow's getting a little bit detached, but his teammate Toe holding on to him quite nicely actually in 6th. Then we got Freddie, Jake, who's got ahead of Python in towards turn 10, and Jake now up to 8th place, and Dynamo Dan right behind Python, who's now 9th. As, oh, I think Freddie might have disconnected. I'll get him back as quick as I can. As it's not letting me. Oh, there we go. Hopefully I've not just sent a notification to distract Freddy, who's now been overtook by Jake, and is up. Reese has made the ultimate roast to Gar, and there we go, the Flow has took control of their car and has not done a Ferrari strategy and took everyone out with them. Wait, hey. But no, yeah, Freddy, I think Freddy
That's
has
what
yeah,
I was
confirmed
actually
Freddy has disconnected, and so did
afraid of.
Python actually. Python disconnected. I do apologise for that, but it is what it is. Python now 11th and Freddy down in 10th. The top 4, as mentioned, their own little battle now, and are starting to pull away from the Aston Martin drivers. Oh, Python, yeah, Python's left the session again. Need to throw another invite back to him. And looking in the chat as well, yep, Monkey Boy saying what we knew, and that has been dealt with for the Flow's AI. Reese with the ultimate roast on Silverside Boy, saying that Flow's AI was faster than him, but Collateral Ads around the outside for turn 1. Nigel goes deep, Collateral Ads with the
Oh, they're
cutback
side by side.
around the exit of turn 1, and that Collateral Ads, he's going to hold it down the inside. They avoid contact,
And
unlike Silverstone. And now Collateral Ads, he takes the lead on lap 4 at Zandvoort. That was textbook overtaking from the McLaren.
Yeah, that was a really neat move.
Short and sweet response from Flo, but say it as it is. That was beautiful from Collateral Ads, who needs a result like this after how the mid-season has gone. Robin, Jaffmaster, and they've done the swap at Aston Martin. Tow now up to 5th place. Jake, Dynamo Dan heckling him. These two good acquaintances recently in the lead, and also outside of the lead somewhat, as Reese has asked where Nigel was going, and that cutback with Collateral Ads. Not too sure, but I think Nigel wants an immediate response, because Collateral Ads using that battery to defend against the Mercedes already. These two are going to be playing hot potato in towards turn 1. Nigel hot on the collar of Collateral Ads, and just like that, it's a game of DRS give and take. Nigel now back up into the lead.
Yeah, it's DRS cat and mouse here now, I guess.
So we're getting a little bit sidetracked here from these battles. We got 2 already. Silverside Boy down the inside of L into what's turn 2. Taps the back of the Alpha Tauri, and there goes Freddie around the outside of Silverside Boy, but gets bogged down by L. But Freddie's got the move done on the Williams ahead of the Red Bull, and he filters in ahead of Silverside Boy. Freddie biding his time is up now back into the points, and as well Dynamo Dan getting ahead of Jake. There's battles all over this track. We can't keep up.
Yeah, you too. Nice battling as always. We also still got Jake and Dynamo Dan battling for position. Now a little bit more hard, but still.
A little bit deep there though, the Jake. And as well, I should actually mention Toll is now caught up and is in the DRS window of Jaffmaster. And now, there we go, deja vu. Collateral Ads has now decided I want the first place. You know, this is like mine, no it's mine, no it's mine, says Collateral Ads. And he's put the foot down on this one, and he's now back into the lead. On lap 6, we've seen the lead change 3 times in as many laps.
Freddy's trying to go around the outside.
Expecting a few more.
Oh,
at
and
the
goes
front.
off track and loses 2
Oh,
positions
dear.
instead, gaining 1.
Yeah,
Oh.
Freddie losing ground as well against Silverside Boy. And Silverside Boy, seen what Freddie done the lap before, tried to go around the outside of L, get the slingshot out of turn 3, but L holding on nicely to the 9th place. But they are losing so much time to Jake, and this group as well are starting to fall into the clutches of Razadamer.
Yeah,
Both of
he's
the Williams
catching up
now.
to them.
Yeah, both of the Williams now wanting to tag team on L and Silverside Boy. Both of the Red Bull, Red Bull and the sister car fighting against the Williams duo. And Tidjum subscribing with Twitch Prime, but sidetracked from the race. But Tidjum, 15 months as well, and subbing with Twitch Prime. Thank you, Tidjum, and thank you for the support. I'm sure a lot more support than I've put into the channel. Anyway, here we go again. DRS for Nigel, but he's not looking for the overtake this time. In fact, maybe trying to defend now against Robin. So Robin on 25% battery, collateral adds 35, and Nigel 36. Draftmaster's on 35, Toe's on 21. All of these drivers are actually somewhat similar in terms of battery. Shadows is on 52%, but 2 seconds back from his teammate. Could Shadows be a bit of a dark horse in this race?
We still got this amazing four-way battle going up for the... It's actually P9 it is. It's just always nice to see cars go around the track so close to each other.
See how close these drivers are. Actually, look at our leader graphic, 1.7 seconds covering these drivers as there goes Silverside Boy down the inside of L into towards turn 10. A real overtaking place, but Silverside Boy has proven it's possible and is now up into 9th place. And now it's Nigel wants to respond to lateral as that's a late move to the inside, looking to defend against Nigel, but Nigel can hold it around the outside at turn 1 as he got a yellow flag further back. Drive on driver has had a spin. These two are still level pegging. Nigel's got the curb. He's been forced wide by Collateral Adds, but he shuts the door on him and retakes the lead. But now Robin looking to pounce now against the McLaren. These two, I tell a lie, these 5 so far, anyone can win this race.
Yes, we got Alligator pitting for wing damage. Did he get that battling with Silverside Boy?
I
Looks
don't
like
know, he might have tagged the back of the Williams, might have hit a wall, I don't know. But L is now at the back of the pack, and that has really derailed their performances. Well, their performance for tonight. As what was that? I think Robin gone wide. He's lost a ton of time now. Draftmaster looking for a move at turn 10. That was brave from the Haas driver, but Robin got on the curb there at turn 9, I think. And that could be a really costly mistake here for the AlphaTauri. Has he got front wing damage? I don't think he has. No, does he? I don't.
No, he's not.
No, I don't think. No, I don't think he does. I think that was just a shadow as opposed to the end plate. And oh no, he does. It's front right. He's lost his end plate. Oh, that is a major mistake for Robin.
Oh yeah, he does really. Yeah. Oh,
His
that's
front
gonna hamper
right
in on.
end plate is gone, and could that be his chances of the victory gone with it? He's now out of DRS range, and that's now meaning Collateral Adds and Nigel can now break away from Draftmaster and Toe Gamer. Not quite Toe Mater, but he's got a tow bar between himself and Draftmaster. He's been within 0.2 of a second for the past like 4 laps, and he's got a bit of a twitch there at turn 8, further back from one Haas and Aston fight to another. Dynamo Dan ahead of Shadows, Draftmaster now ahead of Robin, who's going to be moving over to defend against Toe. Into towards turn 11 we go, and there goes Toe, E-I-E-I-E-I-O, up to 4th.
Yeah, and Silverside seems quite vulnerable here. His battery is very low, and he's got other gamer right behind him on percent, so he get DRS. This time around, he's probably gonna get passed by the Williams driver.
Yeah,
both with DRS, but DRS
Oh,
advantage of Raza Gamer is just too high, and he's gonna get past the Ferrari, the Red Bull. It looks like now the Red Bulls both fighting for P10.
Yeah, well, speaking of Ferrari, there's Night Owl minding his own business. Think might have got caught up in that collision. Actually, I did get caught up at turn 1. Luckily survived without any damage, but it's going to be damage limitation for the Ferrari driver. And there goes Silverside Boy letting Python through. So a switch at Red Bull. No, I don't think he does. I think that's just tactics from Red Bull. I think their front wing is still intact.
Yeah, he might just have thought he's just so.
Yeah, I think it's Python's turn now to hunt down the Williams duo, who have got the overtake done in both Red Bulls. Up now, double points now. Freddie 8th, Raza in 9th, but Jake up in 6th place, and that's not what Raza wants to hear. But here goes Collateral Adds. Nigel ERS is flashing DRS for collateral adds. Nigel, oh my goodness, these two are doing hammer and
Oh, it
tong.
was so close.
This is the fight at Silverstone that we didn't get to see here, ladies and gentlemen. As collateral adds gets the elbows out there against Nigel and says, thank you very much. I will take back the lead of the race as Cruiser was making his appearance known. Hello. And now toe up into the podium places ahead of Draftmaster. Up to third place is the Aston Martin driver, and he's out to make a point, and a point to prove after Spa.
Yeah, in the meantime, Python did get past one of the Williams drivers already. He's now looking to push to get the DRS ready, but it's going to be a little bit of a task because he's 1.6 seconds behind at the moment.
We'll actually have a look at our positions graphic. I've been completely sidetracked. We had our leader graphic up. We've been missing out some of the action. Change up at the front. Collateral Ads and Nigel have been kind of hot potato-ing the lead of the race since lap 4. Now on lap 11 here at Zandvoort, and I think we might have another change as Nigel's charging that battery up a little bit more. Collateral Ads trying to use that straight line speed to defend against Nigel, but he sees him like a shark in the waters is Nigel. He's looking to chomp down on him on that rear wing, but he's not close enough though. Maybe a few more 100 metres of DRS, he would have got that. But Nigel conserving his battery though for a later attack. Meanwhile, Draftmaster doing what he has to do and holding on to the back of Toe.
Brother Gamers fighting back.
I'll look at this fight, and Raza, he filters in against Python. He thought about it there. The Williams driver,
Yeah,
but Python's
but just
holding
didn't make it.
But Python got on the curb though, so it's going to be Raz's chance. He's got the better run now towards turn 6. We've seen a few overtakes at this corner, but Python takes a tighter line and is more than aware to it. We have seen some very brave overtakes in towards turn 7 in the past. Raza looking for it, not quite close enough though. But that Williams on the hard tyres, don't forget. Python now wanting to try and back up Raza Gamer into his teammate. Meanwhile, a driver who we hadn't noticed actually, Shadows, is on a yellow fuel light, so might have minimal fuel in that car as he goes around the banking of turn 14, and could be why he's content with the DRS just to sit behind Jake, who has actually, Jake got a penalty somewhere. He got a 5-second penalty, and I wonder what that was for, because that has been completely unnoticed to me for pretty much the full race. How has Jake got that?
Yeah, might have been with the contact in the first lap.
He
I thought
might have
other people getting
that
5-second time penalties there.
That might have been it, because I definitely noticed Night Owl and Phenom got them, but Jake, that could get rescinded though. I'm not sure, but that's been unknown to me all this time. We're on lap 13 at Zandvoort, almost half race distance, and I've not noticed that our championship leader's got a 5-second penalty for something that I think could have actually been out of his control. Meanwhile, one driver who is in control of this race is Draftmaster. He's been content and somewhat quiet actually, despite being up at the front throughout this full race, hanging on to the back of Toe, and that's now allowing him to make gains against Nigel and Collateral Ads. These two have ceased fire for the moment and could be under fire soon from the Haas if they're not careful and they get caught up in their own fighting. Nigel using that DRS, and he's going to charge that battery up a little bit more. Collateral Ads 13% battery 1.3, Nigel 27%. So Nigel playing somewhat of the long game here, but they can't be too what's what I'm looking for here? Reluctant. You can't be, yeah, we'll go with that. Too reluctant to make the overtake against Collateral Ads, because Toe is 1.9 seconds behind them. Meanwhile, Dynamo Dan doing his part to keep behind the General. Shadows again as well, not making that overtake and just content with the DRS. Freddy, Raza and Silverside Boy, as I think Python actually might have made a pit stop somewhere. He did make a pit stop, I'm sure, as we see there. Now down in 14th place on a set of hards.
Yeah, he thought I'm gonna go for the undercut here. I'm also excited to see which of the two top drivers is gonna think first, go into the both on the same tire, so someone's gonna try to go for the undercut possibly.
And they're going for another lap. I get the feeling we won't see any pit stops for the top two until around lap 20. if anything, maybe between lap 20 and lap 24 for the hard tyres that they are running. But if you're Toe 2 seconds behind Nigel and you do make the pit stop onto the hards, it's around a 18 to 20 second loss. He will be out behind Robin, but a good bit of track actually ahead of Night Owl, who's just made that pit stop. So he's got around an 11-second window between Robin and LF1. So that could be something to consider for all the top 4 actually. They will have that window between Robin and L, both the AlphaTauris, down in 11th and 12th.
Yeah, things settled way back in the field. Silverside Boy is now 1.6 seconds behind the next Williams ahead, so yeah, Python is taking himself out of contention at the moment because he's pitted. So things settled down a little bit back there. But Shadow is quite close behind. Benno Jake here is... Yeah, but Benno Jake also with the DRS from Dynamo Dan in front.
Yeah, the top, this battle for 5th place have actually maintained position quite nicely actually. They're just allowing them to run their own race. Silverside Boy in the pits, somewhat of a reaction I think to his teammate, but I don't know if it's going to get him ahead of Python potentially. He might lose out here towards Phenom, who's done 14 laps on his medium tyres alone, is actually fighting with Jay. In towards turn 1, these two have been unnoticed in the race, getting caught up at turn 1, but Jay holds it around the outside of Phenom. Phenom has to back out, and Jay makes that work. Now up into 13th place, but these two haven't made the pit stop yet. So regardless though, it's not stopping them from having a good race here it seems. Jay and Phenom, a brilliant fight there, and Jay wins that round and is up into 13th as I mentioned. Meanwhile, we better noticed as well, Jaffmaster got ahead of Toe, as there's been a collision. I think L has spun. They have.
Yes,
Turn 7,
yeah.
they've gone round.
Yeah, maybe
again,
touched
though.
the curb on the outside and went a little bit
Yeah.
off track.
And there,
So easy to do.
this fight between 5th, 6th, well, what was Dynamo Dan, Jake and Shadows, they have all boxed at the same time. So what will the order be when they leave the pits? There goes Dan, there goes Shadows, and as Jake's got to service 5 seconds. So that's why he was held, and that's why Shadows followed him in. It's a free position. And away goes Jake. But is he going to be ahead of Python? No, he's not. That is really costly for Jake. Something out of his control, and he's now down in 11th place, almost where he started this race.
Yeah, the thing is he also can't get the penalty removed when served, so that's also not ideal for him.
The LF Gamers called it a day in the pits. Lap 17, they are out of the race, and I would say the first quote DNF of the race because Flo decided to be a late entrant and the stewards caught him out. Meanwhile, let's see what the
slip
top
away into
two...
the race and it didn't work.
Yeah, you were too eager to race. Yours is on Sunday. Meanwhile, Nigel finally making that move onto lateral as he's charged his battery, and down the inside of turn 1 for the Mercedes. Down he goes and is back into the lead, and this time he wants to keep it and possibly maintain it when the pit stops arrive, as Toe and Freddy are in the pits for their tyres. That's going to put Robin up in 5th. And let's see where Toe emerges in the pits. He's going to emerge ahead of Dynamo Dan. And that is actually relatively comfortable there for the Aston Martin driver. He's got around a second actually. Yep, a second to Dynamo Dan. But the tyre warm-up means that Dynamo Dan is going to get within his DRS window.
Yeah, he's already in it. He just needs to stay in it, but Toe is pushing with his ERS here, but Dynamo Dan has enough, so if he also uses his ERS, he should be... Oh, and Toe is off the track. He misjudged the corner. Maybe dies as well. Oh no.
That's the danger of pull tyres. He got on the curb at turn 8, and he's not the first one to do that this week. Toe now down in 8th place as the top two echo each other, and so does Jaffmaster. They've echoed one another and they are in the pits. Nigel getting service, but he's had to be held there because of the Haas. There goes Collateral Ads. Who's going to emerge ahead? It's Collateral Ads! He's got the jump on him!
Yeah, because of the Haas car also pitting. He had to stay just that little bit longer.
That is costly for Nigel. Jaffmaster making his pit stop, and there is Dynamo Dan. Dan's now found himself in the mix. Meanwhile, we'll actually look at this fight for the net lead here between Razagamer and Robin. Robin on 9-lap-old mediums, they have to pull out an almighty stint to get these to the end, to be fair. And Razagamer yet to make their pit stop, one of only 2 drivers yet to box in this race, actually if I'm correct. Nope, so far he's the only driver yet to make his pit stop. Might be gambling on a safety car or something we don't know for the Williams driver. He's minding his own business though, and that's all that matters for him. But Jaffmaster now bringing his teammate into play here, and could we see a potential swap at Haas, or does Dan have enough faith in Jaffmaster to get him within DRS?
It might be inevitable for him to get by here. But Jaffmaster is defending, he's using his ARS.
And there's been another swap between Nigel.
Getting behind, but it's not gonna hold him in front for long, his battery.
Yep, Nigel is well getting the overtake again in Collateral Ads, making amends for the pit stop, and is now back up into what is the net lead of this race, because I don't think Robin's going to get these tyres to the end, granted. It's been a good stint so far for the AlphaTauri driver, but I think it's a formality at this point.
As the let's top 2 actually catch up to Razagamer and Robin. Let's see how that plays out.
Yeah, I think Raz's tyres are starting to fall off as well. I did say between lap 20 and lap 24, if he is in a box, it probably should be now for damage limitation, as there goes Nigel down the inside of the Williams, and the relative, actually somewhat of a mismatch actually. Nigel on the fresher rubber, up now into next second
almost
place.
Pushing Razagamer ahead.
He's got to get his overtake done as quick as he can, but he's got on the curb, and this is the breathing room that's going to help Nigel out, as now through the banking we go. There goes Nigel making the move on Robin, and he retakes the lead outright. Lap 21 at Zandvoort, 15 laps to go at the end of this lap. Nigel back into the lead, and now has that buffer over Collateral Ads.
And as I said, I think also our drivers who boxed in the first lap, which are on now 19 old lap medium tires, will probably have to box again, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure. As I mentioned earlier, I don't know if Robin will make it to the end on those tyres. Might be hoping for a safety car of sorts, as Jays went on to a set of softs. Could be thinking of a fastest lap pride point, I'm not sure. For the Alfa Romeo driver, it's just not been their day.
Critical to get past for Collateral, but he doesn't. Robin is defending quite good here.
He's not given an easy.
Might be able to push out of the DRS from, or he might be able to put Robin outside of his DRS, and he did. But this
right now, though,
must have been the moment to decide the race here, because if Collateral is not able to get back into DRS from Nigel here, and his pace is not strong enough, the overtake, the quick overtake on Razagamer, I think it was, from Nigel, might have decided this.
Yeah, just still a long way to go in this race. 15 laps remaining here at Zandvoort. Nigel leading Collateral Ads, the top 2 from qualifying, the top 2 currently in the race. Robin holding on to 3rd, but our tyres might start to give up on them any minute now. Jaffmaster and Dynamo Dan, Haas next 3rd and 4th. A good effort so far from them. Then we've got the Astons net 5th and 6th, where they have been from the start. They've now found themselves once again Shadows leading tow after their mistake from their pit stop. Freddy, Jake and Python in the top 10. As there goes Jaffmaster looking around the outside. There is Dynamo Dan. Jaffmaster getting the move done on Robin, and is now up into 3rd place outright. Robin now got the DRS to try and help him defend against Dynamo Dan, but you see there he's closed the DRS, and he's not willing to fight against Dynamo Dan, knowing his race lies elsewhere. And that's now the Haas's unleashed to try and hunt down Collateral Lads, who's now not getting the DRS from Nigel.
Yeah, he's dropping back, that's what I meant.
Still a long way to go in this race.
Yeah,
Need
a
to
lot
see.
can happen.
Yeah, we've definitely seen that from Tier 2. Shadows and Toll, both the Astons, in their own little private duel right now for 6th place, and what will soon, I would imagine, be 5th. As there you see Robin, those tyres really starting to struggle on them. And there's Jay with the pride point of a fastest lap. C. Davies making their pit stop now, 16th place. Not been their day for the McLaren reserve. As now Toll with the DRS now in towards turn 10, he's not thinking of the overtake. And again, Shadows has elected to let him through. Shadows not thinking about the championship in this race, but instead he's been playing a supporting role again. This time to his teammate, like C. Davies did in qualifying. As now Aero's Dynamo Dan with his DRS open against Jaffmaster. These two good friends, but no such thing as friends when it comes to lead racing. Yeah, and there goes Edo's the AlphaTauri driver, now ready to charge through the field.
Oh, so we got some people getting 3-second time penalties actually. We had, I think it was Night Owl who retired now. But
yeah,
also Jay with a 3-second time penalty now.
Yeah, I think Jay's just been pushing himself too hard. There are some corners here that are easy to get a track limit penalty. I think possibly turn 10, and in some cases maybe turn 6 if you're a little bit too greedy. Down the inside we're going to jump on Robin here, and you'll see here, this is the curve I'm talking about. You have, at least from my experience, I've invalidated a few time trial times for just being too greedy there. That is possible, but Robin now down in 12th, next car in front of him is Silverside Boy, who has been somewhat quiet as well in this race. He's been midfield with Silverside Boy, but just hasn't been on the right side of that midfield. Robin looking to hunt down and get back into the points. He's got to make up around 5 seconds to Razadamer, and then double that to Python, and then General Jake in 8th. Meanwhile, Collateral Lads 2.1 behind Nigel with 12 laps remaining, and echo that gap to Jaffmaster. I now think, could he be considering letting Dynamo Dan through? Because Dan is on, I'd argue, the better tyres for this moment. Because Jaff's got to manage another 12 laps. He's got to do 18 laps on these mediums. So they'll be really bad by the end of the race. 18 lap mediums would play 20 lap hards for Dynamo Dan. Surely if you're at the Haas paddock, or the Haas pit wall, you've got to consider a potential driver swap, I fear. Maybe even use Dynamo Dan.
I was thinking about it.
Yeah. Maybe let Dynamo Dan through to try and hunt down Collateral Lads, who's looking a little bit vulnerable. But what's frustrating, I think, for Jaffmaster is he's matching the McLaren's time, but he's not catching him up. It's now 2.6 seconds, 2.7. Yeah, I think Dynamo Dan has to have made the call. And away he goes. Dynamo Dan now up into 3rd place. And now the team games are in full effect for Haas. Can they catch the McLaren and make it a double podium?
Collateral Lads seems to be slowly dropping back. Was nearly 2.5 seconds behind Nigel at one point. I mean, the two houses at least are running close to each other, so could try to make some kind of a team game and swapping places in front to give each other DRS. But let's just see how Jaffmaster, or let's see how Dynamo Dan is being able to create a gap between them two, but it doesn't look like it at the moment.
C. Davies, I think, is going to call it as he's limping into the pits, and that is going to be it for the McLaren driver. Or he might have wing damage, but he was very slow going into the pits there, was the McLaren. And no, he's going to soldier on and get a fastest lap point. Fair play to C. Davies. He's not giving up, and he does know anything can happen in the remaining laps.
Yeah, and 9 laps on soft tires is definitely possible, so we might gonna go to
Yeah.
the end.
Well, nothing to lose. Go for a fastest lap and take that to Monza next week. Anyway, as you said, 9 laps remaining. As there's a yellow flag. It's sector 1. I think that might have actually been the McLaren leaving the pits. Yep, it was. Anyway, Nigel, 9 laps remaining, has a 2.6 second lead over Collateral Ads, but Dynamo Dan and Jaff, I think they've gave up and they're now actually, instead of fighting for a double podium, they're now fighting for third. Because that now is 3.5 seconds between Collateral Ads and Dynamo Dan. The swap hasn't worked at Haas. They've now been caught up in
Yeah,
their own little tussle.
yeah, it doesn't look like they're getting closer to collateral arts here. This was gonna try to protect themselves from Toe in 5th place here. Who's actually getting passed by Freddy? So now the Haasers are getting hunted down by the Williams possibly. But still 3.5 seconds is quite a long way to go for the Williams driver.
Right, we're back. Sorry about that. So, I was muted. Funny that. That hasn't happened once in my commentary. Funny that. As you mentioned though, yeah, Freddie, 3.5 seconds now behind Jaff, and on fresher tyres to Dan. So don't count out Freddie just yet, but he's now on a bit of fuel management as well, but Toe isn't. Oh, tell a lie, I just saw a flicker of, there it is, a flicker of yellow. So all 3 of these drivers are struggling with fuel.
Yeah, there wasn't any safety car this race yet. Unexpectedly on a tight and twisty track, you would think it's gonna come, but it didn't yet.
And no, something I don't think it will. Meanwhile, the Haas's have swapped positions back. Jaff now back in the 3rd place, but now 3.8 between Dan and Freddie. This now could become their own little private fight. Can Freddie catch the Haas's, or will he have to conserve a little bit too much fuel to really mount an assault? And I think that might be it. Jake having a quiet race in 8th. C. Davies has called it a day in the pits. They are out of the Dutch Grand Prix. 7 laps left to go. And Zandvoort, Phenom now in the pits after a 27 lap stint on mediums. Take anything from that race, that is an almighty stint from the Mercedes team, obviously gambling on the safety car. Nigel still leading the way by 3 seconds now to Collateral Ads. Jaff Master now 4 seconds behind the McLaren and is now getting caught up in that fight with his teammate. So that's going to be one to watch towards the line. Freddy, Toe and Shadows all keeping within a second or so of each other, but Shadows now starting to drop back from his teammate Jake, quiet 8th. Raza on a charge to try and get by Jake, as you can actually see there. This will be important for their championship, and I believe actually as things stand, we will go to Monza with a change in leadership, because if I get the standings up real quickly via my phone, typically you're on the phone doing your job, Nigel is 19 points behind Jake. You get 25 for a win, you get 4 points for 8th. So a 21 point swing in Nigel's favour will mean we go to Monza with Nigel Pidgle leading the championship by 4 points as it stands. So all Nigel has to do is just keep his head down for the next for the next 6 laps after we cross the line, and he's going to take his 3rd victory of the season in that Mercedes. Collateral Ads looking to preserve 2nd place, and I think he's going to end up shockingly in a bit of no man's land after these pit stops. He lost time behind Raza Gamer and Robin, somewhat backmarkers if you will, get to make their pit stop, and that's now in effect meant Nigel steadily grew that lead. Now 3.2 seconds to the McLaren. Jaff Master and Dynamo Dan fighting and tussling. Jaff around the outside at turn 1 to defend this position against his teammate. And again, the Haasers have got to be careful not to get too aggressive against one another.
Yeah, but now you see what I meant before with Nigel Piggle making the best out of the, yeah, as you said, not really back markers, but lower cars in their way, and with getting by them at the first glance, he was just able to. Oh, I see. Maybe made a mistake because the gap has dropped down to 1.8 seconds. Nigel possibly
Oh,
making a little mistake there.
as long as he didn't do what Robin done, he should, as I said, he should be okay. Just got to keep his head down for 5 more laps, and he will take his 3rd win in Tier 2. But he's got to be careful as well, because the Hasses are going to get caught up in their fighting, and that's now going to mean it'll be a 2-horse race, and it's now 2 seconds between Nigel and their collateral ads crossing the line. 5 to go at Zandvoort, and there goes Dynamo Dan down the inside of Jaffmaster with the DRS, and now it's Dynamo Dan's turn to take 3rd. But in context of the championship, will he give that up to Jaffmaster, because he will also take a chunk out of Jake's lead, who's now fighting with Raza Gamer. Jake having to defend his place against the Williams driver. This is crucial for Raza's championship too. He's got to take any points he can out of Jake's lead, but he likes to filter in line. And Jake holding on to 8th place here with everything he can, and Robin arriving on the scene too. Jake going to have a very tough ending to this race. Robin recovering for some points, but he wants to take a few more out of Jake's lead.
Yeah, Raza gave, of course, a bit pressure to tires. Yes, you got to make the move as soon as possible.
Know something? I don't think he will, because of that fuel. He's in a lifting coast behind Jake. It is Jake on 48% battery, Raza Gamer's on 16%, Robin on 10%. So Raza Gamer, I think, is going to just lift and coast, use this DRS to his advantage, and try and help his cause, because Jake will then burn his battery and maybe launch a final lap charge against Jake. But he's not waiting to the final lap. He's going to go for it as Raza Gamer. This is critical for the championship. Down the inside goes the Williams, but Jake trying to hold it around the outside. No, he doesn't. Raza gets the move done, and albeit for 8th place, it's priceless for Raza Gamer the way this race is done. He's going to catch up to Jake and at least maintain that gap between himself and Nigel and keep it at as minimal as it can be for this race. Speaking of Nigel Piddle, 2.3 seconds now ahead of collateral ads. Might have been a slight hiccup for Nigel, but he's recovered well, and he's got 3 laps left to go. 3 laps for 3 victories in Tier 2. Collateral ads will be another podium to his name, but who's going to join them in the podium? Will it be the Haas of Dynamo Dan or his teammate Jaffmaster? We have 3 laps remaining as we cross the line. Jaffmaster using that DRS, but he's going to like to lift off the throttle. 56% battery for Jaffmaster, plays 22% for Dynamo Dan, so Jaffmaster has that advantage. But that now means then that Freddy can catch up, as now Jake responds against Raza Gamer, up into 8th place himself, and he's now going to take points away from the Williams. These two are going to go at it till the end, but you've got to be careful, because Robin has arrived on the scene as well, and he's in this title fight too. 40 points behind Jake, and any points he can make up, as I said, will be critical for the final stages of the race. But they're actually now, all 3 of these drivers are actually starting to catch up to the Aston Martin pair. So Shadows and Toe have got to get a move on here, or they're going to risk their places. Toe's drawn wide again at turn 8. That's now going to drop him back in towards Jake, and he's going to lose his place. He's going to try and defend it against Jake. That is the 2nd time he's done that as the Aston Martin driver. He's
As we suddenly got a 4-way battle.
So to be careful for him as Raza looks for it against Jake, but he goes deep. And that's now going to give Jake a lifeline against the Williams driver. But Toe now, if he can defend his place, he's going to just slowly draw them towards his teammate. So Toe might have to do a bit of defending here towards the final few laps. As we've got 2 laps remaining, the Hasses maintain their place. Jake eyeing another 2 points he can take out of Nigel's net lead in the championship, but he's not going to get the move done in that lap. Raza Gamer's still looming large, and so is Robin. this fight now for 7th place now go down to the line, and this fight for 3rd place will be down to the line as well. Nigel and Collateral Ads still as they were from lap 18 making the pit stops. I'll tell a lie, lap 20 after the pit stops. Has there been a collision? Oh, the Haas's come together! I think the Haas's might have had a collision somewhere. There's been a yellow flag in that area, or it's going to be a visual bug. I'm going to go with the visual bug.
I think it might have been Freddy. He's going slow. He's out of fuel. Freddy's out of
Freddy's
fuel,
gone!
I think,
Oh no!
Oh, he gambled too hard. Oh, that's what the yellow flag is for.
What is it with the Williams and their fuel? It was Snedden at
Oh,
Silverstone. Now it's Freddy
it's
in the Netherlands. Oh, that's heartbreak for Freddy.
He had such a good race.
He's not put a foot wrong the whole race. He's now going to lose out from 5th place, which is now going to be where Toe is. In towards turn 1, Shadows lets him through because Shadows is critical on fuel as well. And so's Raza and Robin. Everyone's running out of fuel. And Dynamo Dan, Jaffmaster's in trouble as well. Is Jaffmaster?
They're all
I
out
think
of fuel.
Jaff might have had a collision. Dynamo Dan's in trouble as well with their fuel. But no such troubles for Nigel Piddle, going through the middle sector for the final time. It was a pendulum battle with Collateral Ads that they were denied at Silverstone. But it's fair to say, what we missed out at Silverstone, we got our money's worth today at Zandvoort as they go around the final few corners for the Mercedes. It's 1, 2, 3 of a kind for Nigel Piddle through the banking, and he's going to cash out with a max haul, 25 points. I said back to basics in Spain. It's back on top for Nigel, back to back, and he wins at Zandvoort. Collateral Ads take 2nd, Dynamo Dan's going to take 3rd for the Haas team. Jaffmaster, a good effort from him, takes 4th. Toe's going to take 5th, but who's going to finish behind? It's going to be Jake, because Raza's out of fuel, Robin's out of fuel too. And
They're all
so
out of fuel.
Shadows!
They're all going
They're
slow
all
over
out
the
of
line.
fuel in the final laps. Jake
Jake
gets away with 6th place. Raza takes 7th, coasting
like a
against
snake
Robin
race.
to take 8th. And I must say, I have never seen this ending to a league race. 4 drivers out of fuel in the final lap. Silverside Boy takes 10th place and somewhat feels like he could have potentially got more. Oh my goodness, as Erdo's Python J stripping down their car to pack up for Monza in 12th. Phenom Freddy, heartbreak for the Williams driver. He was on for 5th place, but he ran out of fuel like Snedden did at Silverstone. And there goes Nigel, the Mercedes, once, twice, thrice for Nigel Piddle, and he's going to take the championship lead going into Monza.
What an amazing end.
What an end!
I never saw so many people run out of fuel at the end of a league race.
Yeah.
They just all gambled on the safety car and it just didn't come.
4 drivers ran out of fuel on the final lap. Anyway, Nigel, no such problems. He takes his 3rd win in Tier 2. Collateral Ads takes 2nd. Half of the race, he was right behind Nigel's gearbox, and for the second half after the pit stops, Nigel just pulled away. Dynamo Dan from 11th to a podium, a good effort from him. Jaffmaster takes 4th. Toe, Jake, Raza, Robin, Shadows and Silverside Boy take a point at in 10th. And we have a few DNFs. The flow, for some reason, has been classified. Save that again for Sunday. LF1 not making it to the line. Night Owl, C. Davies, and Freddy a lap down because of that siphon fuel. And we've got Drive on Driver, Phenom, Jay, and Python taking the final points as well.
I just hope I'm gonna finish higher than P19 on Sunday.
Yeah, as per requested, we shall get the tyre graphic up for our drivers for our post-race results. And I know that Nigel doesn't have a microphone. I can get word from him in the Mercedes camp, but we shall invite Collateral Ads and Dynamo Dan for a quick word after the race. And not really much to report on, but Well, I've seen some endings to lead racing, but
Uh,
none quite as dramatic as that.
That was nuts.
Was a bit. Anyway, onto the showroom for a quick word with our P3 and P2 drivers, and I should hopefully get a word with Nigel before the end of the stream. If not, he's away to go and party and to celebrate what actually now I believe is a tie in the championship.
wow.
Because all of the late drama, Jake taking 6th place, actually, I tell a lie, as things stand, Jake will still hold the lead by 2 points going towards our second sprint race at Monza. With all of the
Wow.
fuel shortages, Jake no, I don't want to do time trial. Jake has somehow escaped Zandvoort with a championship lead. And no, I don't want to do compendium, but we're stacking up for the end of season tier 2 stream, whatever you want to call it. 57 right now. Let's go for 100.
Tier 2's getting hot.
It is a bit. That was a crazy ending. Over to the Haas team. And Flo, your call. Do you want to interview Dynamo Dan or Collateral Lads?
I'm gonna go for Dynamo Down.
Well,
Thanks.
over you go. And expect a few one-word answers, as I found out from last week.
Yeah.
Simple.
So, first question, of course. How in qualifying? How did you feel there? How do you feel at the SEC in general?
Yeah, probably wasn't the best. Second lap was a bit iffy, so I just thought on the west side go for it. I made a setup change before the start of the race, so that seemed to help towards the race.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, of course, GD's to Jake earlier on in the race. We had a good battle between us,
Yeah, that's what I
fair
want to
play
ask next.
for
Yeah.
keeping it going. And yeah, shout out to Jeff, my teammate, for letting me pass there at the end. Fair play. Get points. for the
Yeah,
team.
we watched your battle quite some time. Seems like you were helping each other out.
Yeah,
Or did it more feel like you were fighting quite hard?
of course, I was trying to catch up on ads, but it was just a bit too quick for us today. So, fair play to
Yeah.
him.
All right, then over back to you, Cruiser.
Thanks, Flo. And well done, Dan. 3rd place
Thank
for
you.
yourself. And
Yeah,
a
congrats.
very
of course, sorry.
interesting fight. Yeah, and a very interesting fight with Draftmaster. I think
Yeah.
it could be one for later on. Anyway, now to the McLaren,
Definitely.
and for what I think is the first time since actually I don't remember actually. Certainly since Bahrain, but Collateral Lads actually know our sprint race at Silverstone and out. Yep, for the first time since Austria, Collateral Lads, welcome back to the podium.
Thanks, mate.
Yep, certainly have missed you. And talk us through the opening, at least for the opening half of that race, because you and Nigel, you were definitely giving us the show we missed out on at Silverstone.
Yeah, it was tough. You know, we go back and forward a couple of times, but he was clever. He was slowing down on the straights when he had opportunities to pass. You know, we had a couple of scary moments together through turn 2 and 3, but you know, we both stayed on track. But yeah, first part was fun.
Yeah, definitely. But I think the decisive moment in this race was the pit stops. You did get the jump on him though in the pit lane, but once you caught up to Raza Gamer and Robin, you just got backed up a little bit too much there. And I think what was probably more frustrating for you was you could match Nigel's pace, but you just couldn't make inroads towards the end.
Yeah, on the hard tyres, I was matched him. He was a lot faster than me on the medium. I was literally flat out on the medium, so he was still putting time on me. But yeah, the Robin and Razza didn't help, but they don't need to move out of the way. They were in position, so he's fine position. When I finally got past him, it was about 2 seconds, and then I just couldn't catch Nigel up. He was putting 3-4 tenths a lap out. Dropped a little bit, and then it got to about 4 seconds, and he made a mistake and lost nearly 2.5 seconds. So, at the end, he would have been about 5 seconds, 6 seconds in front. But P2, can't complain. Especially, this is probably my worst track. I absolutely hate it with a passion. So I didn't expect to finish on the podium today.
Regardless, though, any points are points gained in the championship, and you have caught up to Jake, but you have dropped a few points to Nigel. Regardless, though, you're still in the hunt, and on to Monza next week for our second of our sprint race weekends. Maybe a few more points that you can take out of championship leaders, or just see what happens.
Yeah, so obviously I know Nigel beat me today, but I beat all my other competitors, so I gained points in all of them, especially Shadows and Robin and Jake. So 5-6 points here and there is worth it. Go to Monza, it's one of my favourites. I love Monza. Done a bit of practice already on it, and I seem quite good at there. So yeah, I'm hoping for a good result there. But I've always been sketchy through Ascari, so see what happens.
Absolutely, but that is for another topic next week. And well done to Lateral Lads, P2 for tonight's Dutch Grand Prix, and we'll get the Mercedes up on stream for our race winner Nigel Priddle. Good, keep it short and brief, I think, for Nigel. At least from what I can judge, a very mature drive from Nigel, must be said. And 2 points now between Jake and now Nigel Priddle in the top of our Tier 2 driver standings. Still all to play for, and with 8 races to go, still everything left on the table. But who's going to pick up all the chips and the jackpot? We'll find out next time out at the home of the Tifosi, that being Monza. A big thank you to him for tuning in and for watching. FPRL will be back tomorrow for our F2RL, our Saturday night showdown in our Formula 2 category. As mentioned, type !F2 in the Twitch chat. You'll get a link to our F2 server. And actually, I've not done this yet. Collateral Lads, where is it we're heading to tomorrow night for Formula 2?
Spa.
If you know. There we go. We just left Spa to have a final send-off in Formula 2. So be sure to tune in tomorrow, 8 PM UK time, for our F2RL trip to Belgium. And for Sunday, join the flow on track along with Tier 2, as that title fight as well will be one to watch for season's end. 8 PM UK time again on Sunday, which will be the 8th of October. And I'm sure as well, the Qatar Grand Prix will just be over with. Tune into FPRL on Sunday for even more high-octane racing action. And no, Max Verstappen will not win in our league. But before we do sign out, Flo,
I was just about to say,
now.
one thing missing still.
Yep, driver of the day. So who is going to get your vote?
Yeah, it was quite hard again, but I don't know. I just can't help to see the big brain move from Nigel overtaking the cars, and I want to see someone else do stuff like that and making such moves and thinking way ahead, basically. So if I see someone else doing that, I'm probably gonna give them the drive of the day, but today it's still gonna be Nigel again for me.
Well, it's Troll Tom's vote for a reason. So Nigel Priddle, driver of the day again, for another mature performance, and as mentioned countless times, their third win of the season. And that is going to be it for tonight's race. A big thank you to the Flow for joining me in the commentary box.
Pleasure as always.
GG, boys.
And GG's to everyone, and we'll see you all tomorrow night for F2RL before Tier 4 round out our week in Zandvoort. Anyway, this has been Cruiser 1872. Thank you all very much for watching, and from all of us here at FPRL, good night.